So what really makes a great leader? It's not the latest buzzword or that new management trend you just read about. Today, we're going to dig into 5 timeless qualities that are, honestly, the bedrock of any effective leadership.
It feels like there's a new leadership model every single week, right? There's always a new framework, a new dashboard, some new buzzword that promises to solve everything. But what if the real answers aren't new at all?
Well, it turns out the most powerful leadership qualities are actually old, almost unfashionably so. We're going to frame them today as the 5 horsemen of leadership.
Now, when these 5 qualities ride together, they create some serious momentum, energy, and most importantly, results. But if even one is missing, well, the whole system can start to fall apart. So let's meet them.
First up, and he's first for a very good reason, is trust. Look, this isn't just some nice-to-have, feel-good thing. It is the relational engine of all effective leadership. Without trust, nothing else we're about to talk about can even get off the ground.
So what do we even mean by trust in this context? Well, at its core, it's that feeling, that deep-down belief that your leader has your back. It's a judgment call we're all constantly making based on 3 things: their competence, their honesty, and a real sense that they genuinely care about the team.
And you have to get this part. The sequence here is absolutely critical. Trust must come first. It literally rides ahead to clear the path. It creates the psychological safety that's needed for any of the other 4 qualities to have a real impact.
Trust isn't some abstract concept. It shows up in very specific behaviors. But if you want a powerful litmus test, ask yourself this: do people bring you bad news early? Think about that. If the answer is yes, that is a huge signal that psychological safety exists and trust is in the room.
Okay, so once trust has cleared that path, the second horseman rides in to provide the structure, and this is integrity. You can think of it as the moral spine of leadership.
Integrity is really just about the alignment between words and actions. It's that simple. Does the budget actually reflect the values you talk about? Do the people you hire and promote match the promises you've made? Any gap you see between those 2 columns, well, that's exactly where trust starts to die. All right, so you've got trust and you've got a strong spine of integrity, but values by themselves are just static. The third horseman, courage, is the catalyst. It's what turns those values into action, especially when the pressure is on.
And courage isn't just one thing, right? It shows up in at least 3 key areas. There's the courage to make a tough call when you don't have all the answers. There's the relational courage to have that difficult conversation with a team member. And then there's system courage, the guts to challenge a broken process, even if everyone tells you that's how we've always done it.
But here's the thing. Courage without any connection can just be reckless. And that's exactly where our 4th horseman, empathy, comes in. This is the human element that keeps leadership grounded and, frankly, keeps it human.
Now, it is crucial to understand that empathy is not about just being nice or avoiding hard decisions. Not at all. It's about understanding how those decisions are going to land on people and then responding constructively. Empathy rides right alongside courage, making sure that those tough choices are made with people, not just done to them.
So all these qualities are absolutely essential, but they're still incomplete without our final horseman, accountability. Think of this as the bridge that connects all those good intentions to actual real-world outcomes. You see, true accountability isn't just about assigning blame when things go wrong. It's a whole system with 3 layers. It has to start with personal accountability from the leader. Then it extends to mutual accountability within the team. And finally, it's supported by systems that create clarity and fairness. At the end of the day, it's all about reliability.
Now listen, any one of these qualities on its own is pretty powerful, but the real magic, the secret sauce, happens when they are all present and working together, reinforcing one another.
Just think about how they work together, say on a really difficult project. Trust is what gets people on board in the first place. Integrity provides a predictable path they can rely on. Courage is what pushes the team through the inevitable obstacles. Empathy keeps people from burning out along the way. And accountability? Well, that makes sure you actually get to your destination.
Okay, this framework is powerful, but it's not just theory. So how do you actually put it to work? Let's walk through a simple, really actionable plan.
It really just comes down to 3 steps. First, you've got to map your pattern. Get some real, honest data from your team on each of these 5 horsemen. Second, choose one. Don't try to fix everything at once. Pick a single area and just focus on that for a quarter. And third, tie it to real metrics. If you're working on empathy, you should expect to see your engagement scores or maybe your turnover rates improve.
So the question I want to leave you with is this. As you look at these 5 fundamental qualities, which one of your horsemen needs strengthening? Because focusing on just that one could be the key that unlocks a whole new level of performance for you and for your team.